Chapter 1. The We're Actually Broke Billionaires. Let's start with the rich family that refuses to admit they are actually rich. In fact, if you ask them, they're always just getting by. The We're Actually Broke Billionaires are the masters of financial cognitive dissonance. They own 3 apartment buildings and a portfolio that could fund a small country, yet they will drive 5 miles out of their way to save 4 cents on a gallon of gas. Their house is worth millions, but the interior looks like a museum of 1990s laminate furniture because it still works perfectly fine. The kids grow up thinking they are poor, only to find out at age 25 that their dad quietly bought the neighborhood block. It's a lifestyle built on the absolute terror of losing it all, resulting in a family that eats generic brand cereal while sitting on a gold mine. Chapter 2. The Loud Luxury Giants. This is the polar opposite of our first family. The loud luxury family didn't grow up with money, and they are absolutely determined to make sure everyone, from their neighbors to random passers-by on Instagram, knows they have it now. Everything they own has a logo on it, preferably one large enough to be seen from an airplane. Their garage looks like a luxury car dealership. Their house features white marble that requires a daily professional polishing. And family vacations are less about relaxing and more about capturing the perfect slow-motion video of everyone boarding a yacht. Critics might call them flashy or try-hard, but to this family, hiding hard-earned success is the ultimate sin. If you got it, flaunt it, and if you can wrap it in velvet or gold foil, even better. Chapter 3. The Boardroom Dynasty. This family doesn't just have a household, they have a corporate structure. The parents are high-flying executives, venture capitalists, or founders who treat their kids less like kids and more like junior associates. Sunday dinner isn't a relaxed family meal. It's a quarterly performance review where grades, extracurriculars, and networking opportunities are evaluated. The family calendar is a color-coded Google Doc shared among 3 nannies, a personal assistant, and the parents' scheduling coordinators. From the outside, they look like the pinnacle of productivity and success. From the inside, the kids are basically running a 12-year internship just to secure a recommendation letter from their own father. It's an efficient, highly profitable, and incredibly exhausting way to grow up. Chapter 4. The Eco-Conscious Elitists. This family has managed to turn environmentalism into a luxury sport. They drive 6-figure electric SUVs, live in a carbon-neutral mansion built entirely from reclaimed barn wood, and eat food that was personally blessed by a biodynamic farmer. Their wealth is quiet, but it is incredibly expensive to maintain. They will spend more on organic, raw, unpasteurized honey than most people spend on weekly groceries, all while lecturing you on the carbon footprint of your plastic water bottle. It's a very specific brand of privilege, where saving the planet is the primary hobby, provided it can be done from the comfort of a heated seat Tesla with a customized vegan leather interior. Chapter 5. The Self-Made Illusionists. This family loves a good origin story. They will tell anyone who will listen about how they started their empire in a dusty garage with nothing but a dream and 20-hour workdays. What they conveniently leave out of the narrative is the $200,000 interest-free loan from an uncle, the Ivy League alumni network that funded their seed round, and the safety net of 3 generational estates that guaranteed they could never actually fail. It's a harmless delusion, unless you happen to work for them, in which case you will be regularly reminded that hard work is the only key to success.
Chapter 6. The Blue Blood Nobles. If the loud luxury family is a neon billboard, this family is a whispered secret. Their wealth was built before the invention of the telephone, quietly multiplying through real estate holdings and trust accounts that have their own zip codes. They live in sprawling, drafty, historic estates that look like they need a heating upgrade, but they would never dream of selling or renovating because character is worth more than comfort. They wear worn-out barber jackets, drive 20-year-old station wagons that smell like wet dogs, and look down on anyone who bought their furniture in this century. To them, talking about money is the height of vulgarity. They don't need to show off because everyone who matters already knows who they are. Chapter 7. The Jet-Setting Nomads. This family doesn't have a hometown, they have a flight itinerary. The parents work in consulting or private equity, vague terms that apparently allow them to live out of 5-star resorts and high-end Airbnbs 6 months out of the year. The kids are homeschooled by private tutors or attend elite international academies, speaking 4 languages fluently, but having absolutely no idea how to navigate a local supermarket. Their family bonding consists of adjusting to different time zones and complaining about the Wi-Fi speed in the Swiss Alps. It's a life of constant motion, where the only permanent fixture is a mountain of designer luggage and a passport book that looks like an encyclopedia. Chapter 8. The Academic Aristocrats. This family doesn't show off their bank accounts, they show off their degrees. Composed of generations of neurosurgeons, judges, and Ivy League professors, their measure of wealth is not in horsepower, but in publications and citations. Their home is a labyrinth of floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, obscure classical art, and ancient rugs imported from countries that no longer exist. If you visit, dinner conversation will inevitably pivot to 18th century philosophy or global macroeconomic trends, leaving anyone without a PhD feeling like they stumbled into a defense of a doctoral thesis. They might not drive Ferraris, but their quiet intellectual superiority is far more expensive and far harder to acquire.
Chapter 9. The Guilt-Ridden Philanthropists. This family has so much generational wealth that it actively makes them uncomfortable. They live in a constant state of mild apology for their own privilege. They spend their days funding avant-garde art galleries, attending charity galas for obscure causes, and talking passionately about wealth redistribution while living in a multi-million-dollar eco-loft in Tribeca. They want desperately to be seen as down-to-earth and one of the people, but their attempts at relatability usually involve buying organic hand-spun yarn from a cooperative in South America. They are incredibly kind, highly sensitive, and constantly searching for a way to balance their bank account with their conscience. Chapter 10. The Family Business Tyrants. Finally, we have the family where the line between home and work doesn't just blur, it completely disappears. Whether they run a regional chain of car dealerships or a multinational shipping empire, the business is the family, and the family is the business. The patriarch or matriarch expects every child to join the ranks, starting as a low-level worker to build character before inevitably taking over. Marrying into this family requires a background check and a prenuptial agreement thicker than a phone book. Sunday dinners are basically unofficial board meetings where corporate drama is served alongside the main course, and you are never quite sure if a comment about the roast chicken is actually a metaphor for your declining productivity. Please subscribe.